this is REIKO, and thank you very much for watching the Channel Zero. And today's guest is Mr. Max von Shuler. And last time we were talking about TPP and how TPP takes your basic rights to live as a human away from you. Okay, so today let's dig into this TPP issue more detailedly, and then I want to ask you this question. As everybody knows, anyone knows that the TPP bring us only tragedy and not so much merit, not so much good, right? And then TPP causes American disaster and nightmare, and then that will make them even more poorer, and then take their money and power to just only less than 1% of people in America. And by knowing that, why is the reason the government of America is pushing this TPP and trying to achieve this TPP?
Well, I think we have to look at something like what are people like today? And people have become very selfish. If we think of years ago, 100 years ago, rich people had a sense of what we call the French word noblesse obligée.
Right.
The Vanderbilts, the Carnegies, they would build libraries, build hospitals, things for the common people. They became rich, they worked hard, became rich, and so forth, and they gave back to their community.
Right. They actually worked hard for the society to be more better.
Henry Ford, someone asked Henry Ford one time, why do you pay your workers so much money? And Henry Ford answered, well, if I don't pay my workers this much money, they can't buy my cars.
That's right.
But now it has changed to simply just taking everything you possibly can and gathering it into yourself, and a very, very few people. And this is a different thing.
Yeah, it's not just Americanized things, but it is.
Well, it's also in Japan too.
Yeah, it's also in Japan.
I call this the first world disease.
Right. For example, Akio Morita, Mr. Akio Morita,
Yes.
the founder of Sony, and also as well as the founder of Panasonic, the very famous one, Mr. Matsushita, and these people, these entrepreneur people, worked so hard in order to build up Japan again and make poor people to have a better life, and they donated themselves and their ability to the society, and they made a huge amount of money, and they give back to the society, and that's what the business for. But nowadays it seems like a businessman just take and like a Chinese, right? Like a Chinese, they can lie, they can make fake things, and they can cheat people as long as they can make money. But American or Japanese civilized people, they shouldn't do this kind of things like Chinese does.
Well, the Chinese is a whole different thing. In China, it's always people suffered.
Yeah.
People are suffering in China, and they look at that. They just don't notice people around them.
Right.
But in America, it's really become selfish, and so is Japan. Japanese people are becoming the same way.
Yes.
And this is a first world disease. People growing up in society. It started after Vietnam. I remember a phrase in America: "Greed is good." This started in the 80s. After Vietnam, America.
That's right. I think America before the Vietnam War and America after the Vietnam War are
totally different places.
Totally different.
One thing, I joined the United States Marine Corps in 1974. I did not have to. There was no draft then. It was the first year of no draft. And one thing the draft did is everyone in America had to go to the military. And all kinds of people were in the military. Everyone had to serve. The word serve. After that, no. And people didn't want to talk about wars. They didn't want to talk about anything because Vietnam was a huge, terrible mess for America. And then this phrase, greed is good. And people began to cheat. The Lehman shock really surprised me because all of the major banks and financial houses in America were thieves. And when I was a kid, in the 60s and 70s, if you did that, you went to prison.
Yeah.
Nobody went to prison. Still, Obama won't go for it. He won't put anyone in prison for that. The Lehman shock has really crippled the United States financially.
Right.
So much wealth, the United States. I'm not an economist, but so much wealth just disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, we've been playing money games, trying to pretend America's still a solvent country. It's not. And all the world banking nations are connected. So it's like a Peter pays Paul, pays Tom, pays Mary, and Peter pays that goes round and round.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere it's going to fall apart.
Yeah. Well, in a different take, I'm going to talk about the bankruptcy of America will come soon. It is also a very serious story, like your drought story.
Yes.
But I think all the people in the world, especially American and Japanese, should listen to my story.
That's what we're going to have: drought collapse,
Mm-hmm.
fuel collapse,
And dollar collapse.
shale oil is a failure, and financial collapse.
Yes, and these three collapse will happen to United States very soon, and then the value of dollar cannot support it anymore. But I just tell you the conclusion, and
Yes.
then
I know.
Yeah, and then so is yen, Japanese yen, because of the stupid Abe is actually, using our pension funds to raise up the Japanese company stock a little bit in order for his Abenomics to look good, But anyway, that will all collapse very soon. Anyway, what I'm going to say is the very big disaster will happen, will come to the world economy, and the United States and Japan are the very two big victims of this disaster, and we can't run away from that. That's why we need to think about how we are going to survive
Yes.
in this coming disastered age, and almost all the disaster that we have been created by ourselves. And why this kind of thing is happening is just like Max said, we became too much greedy.
Yes.
We too much selfish, egoistic, and we don't listen to what other people say, and we don't want to donate our money. We don't want to live for other people. Only me. My money, my job,
Yes,
and my success, my dream. But what if your dream fail, or what will cause the world? Nothing. For example, if I die tomorrow, so what? Nobody cares. Maybe you care.
I care.
Okay. Nobody cares, and nothing will change. But somebody like Konosuke Matsushita or Akio Morita or Henry Ford or any
Carnegie
other
or
Carnegie
Vanderbilt, yes.
or these people, these businessmen, if they die, many people will be fall into the problem,
Mm-hmm.
and because many people rely on their business, and then that's what the business is for, because which means they are supporting many people, So if I'm also in the financial business, and then I'm also a little banker, but not now, used to be, but I as a financial businesswoman, I always care about what I'm going to bring to other person or other company, because my decision will cause good or bad result coming out of my decision anyway. And then I don't want to cause anything bad to other, a corporation or person. But it is also true that many bankers, they don't really care. They can, as long as they can get money, instant money, they don't care about what will happen to company later.
Yes.
Later means 3 years ago,
3 years after, or so
3 years
forth.
after,
Right,
or
right.
5 years after. What they see is how much they can make money now, But the company has a long history, and the company is existed because they have value. They have giving some kind of value to the society. That's why they are permitted to exist, right? And the banker shouldn't get into this kind of value system area of what the company is actually producing for the society. So, so as a financial businesswoman, I always care about this issue. But I was a very, very, very rare person. It seems like nobody have this kind of consciousness anymore. So they only follow after instant money and then how much they can get. And this kind of mentality caused us the big disaster like Lehman shock, or many fraud, or many bad things, and they knew that will cause bad things in the future. But as long as they can make money now, they don't really care.
Well, it means that something disaster is going to happen, and that time is now.
Right. So
next couple of years.
So this is my point of view, and I want to, of course, I tell myself, first of all, and I want you to think about what I say from now, that how we are going to stop this disaster, and how we are going to, justify ourselves that we have value to survive, then we need to think about our mentality. What for are you living right now? What for are you making money? And if you have money, what do you want to do? Please think about that. And then let's say if I give money to Mother Teresa, she won't buy a dress. Maybe she will use it for other poor children to have an education, or to have a better life. So be a person who have this kind of mentality, and American and Japanese should used to have this kind of mentality. Americans are based on the Christian background, and in the Bible, God keeps telling us to be good, and so let's go back there. And okay, and in Japan too, we have a samurai spirit, and we used to live for society to be more better place, and then we used to give ourselves for other people, and that was our custom, our history, our part of our culture. It's not just we are doing it for other people, but we are doing for ourselves, because what we do for other people will be back anyway, whether it's good or bad. So what I'm going to ask you and me is, let's say that you have a dream, but what for your dream? What is your dream can do to society? So stop trying to live for only yourself. Be a person who can, support other people, and let's go back there so that we can change the world. Right?
Right.
Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.